RBA to raise rates in early 2023. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this article from Yahoo Finance discussing, a Reuters poll result saying that the RBA will start tightening and raise rates in 2023. What do you reckon? Do you agree with it? You think they'll wait until 2023? So, the Reserve Bank of Australia is expected to raise interest rates in early 2023 and possibly sooner, according to a Reuters poll of economists who brought forward their rate hike expectations for the second straight month. Against a backdrop of rising inflation in Australia and around the world, the RBA is now predicted to lift its cash rate from a record low of 0.1% in the first quarter of 2023. That's sooner than the second quarter of 23 forecast in a poll taken almost a month ago, while in a survey taken only 2 months ago, there was no consensus for any rate rise in 2023. A small majority, 16 of 25 economists, expected at least one rate hike by the end of the first quarter of 2023 compared with 11 of 25 economists in the previous poll. Economists in the November 29 December 2 poll expected a second rate hike in the second quarter of 23 of 25 basis points to 0.5%. The cash rate is then projected to rise up to 0.75 in the final quarter of 2023. All 34 economists expected the cash rate to stay at 0.1% at the December 7 meeting. So markets are much more aggressive, fully pricing in the first rate hike as early as July next year. We forecast a first RBA hike in quarter 4 of 2022 and think the risk around that is for an even sooner move. I think the RBA's inflation forecasts are too low, and Governor Lowe will be forced to take a hawkish pivot over coming months, said Andrew Tyhurst, senior economist at Nomura. In the statement following its November meeting, the RBA blamed higher energy prices and global supply chain disruptions for the surge in inflation, and said it expected core inflation to pick up gradually. Well, I just received my car insurance, which has gone up by a hefty amount. I wonder how supply chain disruptions and energy prices are affecting that. Particularly since less people have been driving around. It should get cheaper, shouldn't it? But a spike in core inflation prompted the central bank to abandon its projection of no rate hikes until 2024. The RBA's latest forecast shows core inflation reaching 2.5% and wage growth at 3% over 2023. Essential parameters to be met before it starts raising rates. However, those levels could be touched earlier as wage growth picked up in 2022, picked up 2.2% in the year to September, a sharp rise from 1.7% in the June quarter. The key thing for them is still wage growth. If wage growth doesn't pick up, then they can't conclude that they will meet their inflation target sustainably over several years, said Marcel Tiliant, senior Australian and New Zealand economist at Capital Economics. The RBA has stayed mostly quiet on soaring house price inflation. Even as one of its closest peers, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand has raised interest rates twice already this year, taking aim at a blazing housing market. A recent Reuters survey showed house prices in Australia will rise a further 6% next year, making affordability even worse, especially for first-time buyers. So rates predicted to rise by 2023. Let's have a talk about this one. This seems to be in line with everything else that we're hearing at the moment. The RBA's promise that they won't raise rates until 2024 is completely out the window. Not that any of us trusted the RBA for that at all. That's why everyone locked in their rates, guys. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is going to cool the housing market. I don't think we're going to see a correction. Even if we see 20% correction in house prices, guys, they're not going to be affordable. So are people waiting and trying to time the market needlessly? You tell me. Anyway, thanks for watching. And check out this latest video I did. I can't even think of one. We'll look at the one about Bitcoin crashing, guys. Check that one. 20% down. I don't know how anyone can use that for business. Investing, sure, I understand, but business doesn't make sense. See you next time.